Thank you. If you guys remember, we're solving now. Okay? Solving rational equations. So from last Friday, what do you do before we can, what's the first step? Find the LCD, okay? Now, but before we find the LCD, we need to see if everything is factorable. The first one, x over x minus 1, that's as far as we can go, equals to 1 minus 1 divided by 1 minus x. As you know already, we always want to write our terms in standard form. Why is that, by the way? Why do we want to write in standard form? So we can see if we can take out the -1, okay? Would you agree if we don't write this in standard form, you're more inclined to say that your LCD is the quantity of x minus 1 times the quantity of 1 minus x? Yeah. So now that we have rewritten this in standard form, what can I factor out on this last fraction here? -1. Factor out a -1. So we're rewriting x over x minus 1 equals, if you wanted to, can you write 1 over 1? Is that the same? Minus 1 over, take out -1. What's left? X minus 1. Whoa. Can you see those two factors now are exactly the same? Okay. Here's another thing. You have a minus and then a negative. Two negatives, just like in Algebra 1, we'll change it into a positive. So this is now not a negative or subtraction question. It's an addition question. That's why we want to take out the negative sign. LCD, y'all. What's your LCD? Yep, we only have one term, which is x minus 1. What do you do with each LCD? You're right, multiply to each and every term and slowly write it out so that way we don't make silly mistakes, okay? Equals 1 times LCD is x minus 1. Now, do we write minus or plus? Plus, it is now an addition question. Okay, 1 over x minus 1 times LCD of x minus 1. Anything canceling? Sure.
Why do you have to multiply the x minus 1 for every LCD?
Yeah, what's the point of multiplying by the LCD? Why do we do it? Because we are going from fraction to what? No more fractions, okay? We're trying to get rid of fractions. Technically, there isn't anything wrong with solving with the fractions, except that some of us just make more mistakes with them. Okay, so that's why we clear out all of the what? What are we clearing out? Fractions, okay? So this is canceling. What's left? X equals, this is not a fraction, so I would just distribute. 1 times x minus 1 is just simply x minus 1. This is canceling, so what's left? Good. What do you do now?
Restriction.
Oh, well, let's combine this and then go back and find restriction. Can I cancel my 1s? Okay, those are gone. You have x equals x. Whoa. What is it? Okay. Technically, you can see it from here. X equals x, is that always true? Yeah. And some of you said, I don't know what you're talking about. So you can even move it and set it like that. Is that always true? 0 goes 0. Perfect. So technically, now we want to write all real solutions, except Chris earlier said, go back and check what, Chris?
Restriction.
Yeah. Let's go back and check. What is it that x can never ever be? Yeah. Earlier, we have, remember, x can never ever be 1. That was our restriction. So we are going to write all real solutions except 1. That's what it is. All real solutions except 1. Okay. So if you solve and it comes out to be 9 equals 9, what kind of answer is that? All real solution. How about negative 100 equals negative 100? Yep, so when you have two real numbers and they are equal to each other, that is always, always true. Or in this case, you can stop right here. Can you see it says x equals x? You can stop right there and say all real solution. But you do have to go back and check what? Restrictions to see what we need to exclude from our all real solutions. Okay. All right. Move on to example 5. Example 5. X divided by x plus 2. Subtract x plus 2 over x minus 2 equals to x plus 3. Step number 1. Is it already completely factored out for us? Okay, good. So now what's step number 2? LCD. Perfect. Okay. So Hun and Trevor, what do you think the LCD is?
It's gonna be x plus 2 and x minus 2.
Perfect. Should we say the restriction right away? Yeah? What do you think the x can never ever be in this question? Good. That way later when we have answers, we have to just glance at it and then decide what we can keep. What do we do? Wyatt, with each LCD? What do you mean by that? Help me out. Multiply LCD to just one term? Pick my favorite child? No, we can't just pick my favorite, all my children. Okay. Multiply the LCD to each and every term, right? Can't just pick favorites, okay? Take away x plus 2 over x minus 2. Multiply by the LCD. What you guys do to one term, we must do it to all of our terms. And neatly write these out, because if you're messy, then you don't know what you can cancel. Is that okay so far? What can we cancel in the first term? Okay. X minus 2 or x plus 2 is cancel? X plus 2. Let's distribute that right away. Or you know what? Let me just write the leftovers. What are we canceling in the second term? X minus 2. So this is a minus x plus 2 times x plus 2. What are we canceling in the third term? X minus 2. So this is now x plus 3 times x plus 2. Those are leftovers. Now, from here, we just take it slow and do what? Distribute. Okay. This is x times x, which will give us what, Chris? Good. Grace, x times negative 2 is? Beautiful. I'm going to do a minus and then a big quantity. Dahlia, x times x over here is what, hon? Good. X times, Alyssa, x times 2 is what? Good. In the middle, 2 times x is what, Santana? Good. Oh, that's 2x. 2x. And then Emily, 2 times 2 is? Perfect. Equal to the other side. Nate's not here. Maggie's not here. Alan, x times x is what, hun? Perfect. X times Elena, x times 2 is what? Perfect. 3, Devin, 3 times x is what? Perfect. 3 times 2 is what, Riley? Perfect. Combine like terms? Okay. So this one, x squared minus 2x, not much we can do there. 2x and another 2x will make it a what? 4x. Can I distribute the minus throughout as well? Okay. So I'm going to drop the x squared out. That's used to be positive 4x, but minus a negative in front, would you agree now is negative 4x? And then the positive 4 at the end, distribute the minus, is now negative 4. Okay. Over here, it's x squared. 2x plus 3x is now a positive 5x, and then plus 6. On the left side, what's happening to your x squared, y'all? They do. You're right. Okay. Then let's combine negative 2x and a negative 4x. That will give us a what? Negative 6x. And that's all gone. Minus the 4 back down equals to x squared plus 5x plus 6. What do you want to do next to self x? Make it equal to 0. Where do you want all the terms to be? All on the right or all on the left? Sure, let's move all of it to the right. When we move, it means we're adding its opposite. We're doing its inverse. And then go and put it under a common term. Okay? So now on the left side, it should be equal to what? Left side? X squared plus 11x plus what? 10. That's on the right, and on the left should be 0. Now what do? Factor. Go ahead and try. Is it factorable? You let me know, and then I'll shuffle your cards again to see.
Yes, it's factorable.
Okay. Check with your team first, y'all. Did you consult with your team? Good. Now, the winner, Diego. Did you come up with the two factors, hon? Good. So we take each factor and set them equal to 0. You should have thinking, maybe two answers. But before we are going to be boxing those up, we need to do what? Go back and check. Earlier, we said x could never, ever be what? Plus or minus 2. So can I keep both now? Yeah. Is this the first one that we're able to keep both? Because I feel like we... So always go back and check with the big boss at the beginning. Last example of today. Example 6, is that completely factored out for us? No, so let's go do some factoring. Okay. Well, n can't do much with n, right? So I'm going to write it over. Can I write n over 1, technically? Plus n squared minus 5. Can I do anything with that? Okay, so copy that over. It's n squared minus 5 all over. Can I factor n squared minus 1? Yes. That is going to be n plus 1 times n minus 1, beautiful, equals. Can I factor out n squared plus n plus 2? No, so copy that over. And then over n plus 1. LCD? Good. N plus 1 times n. Should we say the restriction too? Oh, I wrote x and n all mixed up. Let's stick with the n. N can never ever be what? Plus or minus 1. Good. We'll save that and make sure we check our answers later. Take each factor and multiply to your what? LCD. Take each term. So n over 1 times n plus 1 times n minus 1. If you don't feel like writing the n over 1, you don't have to. You can get rid of it. No big deal. Okay. Then over here, we have n squared minus 5 over n plus 1 times n minus 1 times my big LCD of n plus 1 times n minus 1 equals to n squared plus n plus 2 over n plus 1 times LCD. Okay. Would you agree we got these two factors from technically this dude right here, n squared minus 1? Okay, so we can just go backwards and write that as itself and then distribute the next step. Second term, can we cancel anything? Both, you're right, we love it when we can cancel all of it. So that means you are left with just n squared minus 5 equals the last term. Can we cancel everything or no? Just one of them? Okay, so now you are going to be left with n squared plus n plus 2 times n minus 1. Next step, do what? Carefully distribute. All right, this is n cubed minus n. Drop this n squared down, minus 5. That's all we can do on that side. equals, all right, slowly and carefully. N squared times n will give us what, Sophia C? Good. N squared, Mariana's not here. N squared Slater times -1 is what? Perfect. Then we have n times n is what, Ben?
N squared.
Perfect. N times -1 is what, Brandon? Perfect. Now we have the 2 left to distribute. Kenzie, 2 times n is? Good. Then 2 times -1, Kyler, is? Perfect. All right. Before I even go and combine all that fun stuff, can I cancel anything? Yeah, what are you going to cancel? N squared? Yep. Can I cancel the n cubes since they're on each side? Okay. So now, on the left side, I will write it in standard form. I have an n squared minus n minus 5. On the right side, how many n's are left? Just 1 or 2? I have a negative n and a positive 2n, so 1n minus 2. Oh, yeah. Now what do you do? Set equals to 0. What are you gonna get rid of? Add the 2. Would you agree? What else? And subtract the n. Okay. So add the 2 and subtract the n. So now the right side is 0. What's the left side? N squared minus 2n's minus 3. Now what do you do? Okay, try to see if it's factorable. And again, always compare your factors. If your factors are wrong, then you're going to take the wrong solution. So make sure you pop it up first before we dive straight to the answer. You can, straight up. Either way, later, Riley, if you cancel this and this one, then this minus 2n will still be on this side, and you're still going to get the same exact thing. All right, Karis, did you get the factors, hon? Yes, no, maybe? Yep, take each factor, set it equals to 0. So, it's n equals to 3 and n equals to -1. Can I box both up? No. Earlier, we said n could never be what? Yep, so it cannot keep the -1. You can only box up n equals to 3. Now, if you look through your notes, what's your last and final skill? Word problems. So get ready for tomorrow, okay? I mean, not tomorrow, but next time we take notes.